Hello, pet parents, and welcome to Blog Pause 2016 here in Phoenix, Arizona. Folks, there are so many wonderful things going on, wonderful speakers, and I'm with one of those who is simply going to rock the house with a lot of great information. I'm with Pamela Slim. Pam, tell the folks a little bit about what you're going to be discussing and why it's so important that they understand these concepts.
Yeah, so I'm going to be doing a keynote about finding your natural ecosystem. As bloggers, when I started back in 2005, I remember looking out into the internet and being like, hello, blog readers, and having no idea where to go. And over the course of the years, I've discovered that there's a natural ecosystem of pockets of people who exist in all these places where once you start to connect in the right place, you're connected with a whole bunch of people. So I'll share war stories from my own journey at Escape from Cubicle Nation and also give some tips.
I love that, Escape from Cubicle Nation. Now, I also think what you just pointed out is so true. We see a lot of that microcosm here, little natural ecosystems throughout. How do you navigate and identify who you should be connecting with?
Yeah, well, there's two important pieces. One of them is who you are. What's your vibe? What's your thing? What are your values? What are you about? And as we look at some of the macro ecosystems here, right? Cats versus dogs. Within each of those, for example, there's all kinds of cool sub-ecosystems, right?
Absolutely.
People who have a particular philosophy of what they want to do, And so the first thing is knowing yourself. And the second thing is really always thinking in terms of who is that beloved reader? Who is that person you're trying to reach? What problems do they have? What answers do they need? And it's your job to go out and find answers in your network. And that actually, I think, makes it a little bit more like a scientific investigation, which is fun, as opposed to like, oh my God, I have to go network with influencers. Like, who wants to do that, right?
Right,
Yuck.
exactly. Yeah, that's not a job description or a course they give in college, right?
Right.
Now, you see a lot of people, you work with a lot of folks and advising them. What are some of the pitfalls that folks have a tendency to fall into that keeps them from achieving the success that they otherwise could?
I think one of them is just not trusting in their own gifts. I think the best thing we can do as creative people is to trust in our work and just get it out there. I spend like 90% of my time as a coach saying, let's ship it, let's do something. Okay, it's too big, let's make it smaller, We need to get used to really trusting our voice and our creative instincts, and not everything's going to land. You're not going to have the very first blog post that you write become a viral sensation, right?
Right.
But you want to be really developing your own voice and trusting your voice. So I think that's one thing. The other thing when it comes to getting known and trying to find people who will connect with your work isn't having that feeling like, oh my God, I have to go do all these activities. Really what I want to do is just write. And it's more of a mental framework, I think, that you approach things. Again, I like to always think about, for me, my beloved readers are people who are small business owners, who are hustling, they're trying to find customers, or they're people sitting in a cubicle really wanting to leave. And it feels fun to me to try to find people who have answers to their problems. And I think that kind of philosophy is one that makes the whole process more interesting. It'll not make it awkward then when you go and you meet somebody like famous. You'll do the fangirl or fanboy thing, right? Like I totally do to people I
did
admire.
that to you when you showed up.
You totally did. But then we got over it, and then we were like, wait a minute. Like, we share an interest in supporting people who love pets, who care about the welfare of animals.
Right.
Like, what can you and I do in order to make their life better and make the lives of the animals that they care about so much better? And that's when we start to make really human connections, and that's when it becomes fun.
I love it. Now, before I let you go, I've got to get a piece of wisdom from you. If you could just, tap each of us on the forehead and give us that one golden nugget that will make a difference, what would that be?
I have my 8-year-old daughter sitting right here, and you know what she always says? Believe in yourself.
I love it.
Believe in yourself. Believe in your voice. You have something to say. Trust that voice that wants to express what you really want to say instead of what you think you should write. That always is going to lead you home.
Without a doubt. Great advice. I want to make sure that the folks know where they can get more great advice, information, tips from you. Let's make sure they know where to find you.
I am at PamelaSlim.com. And that's where all my social handles are, all the kit and caboodle.
She kept it simple, right, folks? All right. Well, again, thank you for being here at Blog Pause 2016. So important what you're imparting to all the folks here. We really appreciate everything you're doing.
Thanks for having me. I'm delighted to be here.
Thank you.